Okay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first slide. I'm Claire, and I'm the Cape Town Mobility Project Manager for 2 years, and I was presenting at the summer last year. So my first 2 slides are really just to recap what I presented on last year, and then we'll take you forward on what projects should be here just then. Slide 2. Okay, we realized that the World Cup soccer was coming to South Africa in 2010, and we saw this as an ideal opportunity for us to accelerate and capitalize on all the benefits of new mobility in South Africa, specifically because there's going to be a massive upgrade of public transport. And we felt that new mobility would be able to connect the dots and be able to complement and reinforce the big project, be able to develop new forms of partnership, and as well as innovation and business opportunities for transport. Next slide. So Smart and Ford were the main catalysts for this in South Africa. They got together with the University of Cambridge program, and they initiated the project with the aim of engaging a wide range of both public and private interests, and the main aim was to pioneer new mobility interventions in South Africa, particularly for the 2010 World Cup, but with the long-term benefits. So they initiated the Cape Town New Mobility Alliance, which started with about 8 members and has now grown to over 150 members. And participants include private sector leaders, both large businesses and entrepreneurs, local thought leaders, government and transportation officials, as well as taxi, minibus, and bike entrepreneurs. Next slide. So you can see the range of some key New Mobility Alliance members, the Smart, University of Cambridge, and Ford. Those are the big businesses to the right, entrepreneurs in the middle. The Cape Town Partnership, which is a public-private partnership, which is really focusing on upgrading the central business district. Then we have the government and some NGOs and some interesting projects, as well as some universities that have been involved in the research. Next slide. So the main role of the New Mobility Alliance has been to work on projects, the networking really, networking people, networking physical hubs, and information networks around new mobility. On the people side, we've had the New Mobility Alliance Forum, which is now being run by IDASA, it's an NGO. We have separate project teams working on the projects, mainly myself and Andrew and Gail Janisch, who heads up Mobility Magazine in South Africa. And then we've been working on physical demonstration projects, actually trying to get up and running, and then finding those gaps where we can connect the dots with new initiatives, and developing a connectivity map for all the hubs in Cape Town. And then on the informational side, our focus has been development of a website with information, wayfinding, and the aim to become cell phone enabled in the long term. And there's been a lot of research collaboration between SMART and the universities of Cape Town and Western Cape. Next slide. On the New Mobility Hub side, it's about finding how we can, where there's existing immunities in places where people are already connecting, and then filling the gaps, particularly with the information. But the main role that we find is missing in South Africa is the information side, and also mapping how people can move more effectively if they know what modes are available between one point and the next, so they don't have to rely totally on the car. Next slide. So we did a lot of work on mapping the hub networks in Cape Town, finding what was existing, what existing amenities there were, what existing information there is, etc. And then the main role was to start to develop a more advanced connectivity map. So the next slide. And that connectivity map is just a sort of template format that we're busy trying to work on. The aim is to be able to click on a hub and then to find out what hub's amenities there are, and also to be able to, in the end, map your journey and be able to find a way from moving from point A to point B in the most effective way possible. Next slide. The Switch website, which you can see the URL at the bottom there, developed with some students, with the help of Smart at the University of Michigan. The content developed between myself and Sue. There's a lot of information there, but the most exciting side of this is the actual brand and the name Switch. We had a partnership with the School of Advertising in Cape Town, and the students were given a brief on what we wanted to develop, indeed a brand for what we were doing. And they came up with the idea of Switch, switching to integrated urban transport, switching to new mobility, switching modes, switching the way you think about the way you move. And we find that it's really effective, and one of the greatest things that have come out of the project so far is the Switch concept. On the website, we've got information for people on how to get around in Cape Town, information about what New Mobility is and what the New Mobility Alliance is. And on the right-hand side, you see the journey planner and interactive map links. Those are still just a template, and we're aiming to develop those as we can get access to funding. Next slide. We've been talking with a lot of people in Cape Town. Andrew and I have been really trying to get funding most of this year. We've got some really great opportunities coming up, which I'm sure Andrew will tell you about. But we get most of the time trying to get people excited by the opportunities of being partners in the Mobility Hub network, opportunities of linking with the internet or with cell phones are really important in South Africa. And maybe even the opportunity of speaking to big businesses like oil companies who have gas stations, where we can have a hub at every gas station. And those conversations have started, and we haven't taken them much further than just getting people excited about them at the moment. But Andrew and I are working hard to find funding, and our aim is big. Next slide. The cities that inspire us, like the Hong Kong octopus and the London oyster, we'd love to see Switch being recognized as well as those two, and that we could take this beyond Cape Town to other cities in South Africa and on into the rest of Africa. Next slide. That's just a brief summary of what we've been up to, and I'm sure Andrew will be able to answer most of your questions. Thank you.